I am Griffin Epstein.
And I'm Luca DeBono.
And we are here live at the Petaluma High School gym as the Petaluma Varsity girls basketball team has its season opener against the College Park Falcons. And there is a lot of excitement for this game, Luca, as it is a season opener, and there's a lot of experience on this girls team. They should have, there's a lot of talent, and they should have a lot of improvement after last year.
Oh yeah, I'm super excited to watch this team. What's really great is how the amount of seniors we have on this team and how young of a team, like people like Angelina Skakalowski, who's been on varsity since sophomore year, has a lot to give. I'm hoping next year, same with Jaden Christ. Yeah. I'm hoping they have a lot of experience to give to younger players that so the T-girls will remain good.
There are a couple new players, but 8 returning varsity players on this squad. And the team had it was its first year under head coach John Ratchin. There were a lot of struggles. They were 9-18 overall. They were 5-7 in FCL. They fell just a tiebreaker short of making the FCL tournament. But now that they have this experience, they're expecting that this is going to translate it into wins a lot more.
I mean, it's really hard coming out with a new coach. There's a lot of new basics you have to learn, and not like every coach has a different way of teaching. So it's not that much of a surprise to have a bad record, but I'm hoping this year they get a good record and come back.
Yep, and it will be the final year in SCL for this team, and certainly a return to the SCL tournament is expected. I don't think a league title is realistic, but certainly some big wins. Sonoma and Annalee are the top 2 girls teams. The Trojans really hope that they can compete with them, and with the experience and some of the top players they have, such as Nicole Costa and Jaden Christ, that's going to be key. Nicole, the captain of the team, what does she bring?
Oh my God, I'd say everything. I'd say leadership. I'd say even just pure scoring. I wouldn't want to say she scores a lot of points because that's not true, but she definitely, without her, would be hard getting the ball down to the offensive side and getting those assists and points from her. She has a lot of good shooting range. I see her shooting from beyond the arc a lot. That's something you don't see a lot from girls. Basketball is shooting beyond the three-point line, and she has no problem shooting there and making it, honestly. So I think this year I have a lot of high hopes for her.
And Nicole led the team last year in points per game, 9 points per game, but the team did struggle scoring, only 31.9 points per game this year. What other players do they need to step up to start scoring? Because that's going to be key if they can compete with the Sonoma and Annalees.
Yeah, I think one good dynamic duo that's going on is Nicole to Jaden Christ, because Nicole, I'd say, is more of a point guard coming down the floor with the ball, and then has Jaden Christ, who is very tall, to get the ball and make that layup. I think they need a lot of good other shooting guards and stuff to step up. Lily Catarzoli, I'm hoping, will be a good contribution this year to the team. I believe she has the potential of being a great leader this year, and if she finds that little basics she needs, I think she can be a really good star on this team.
It'd be interesting to see what players step up, become that breakout player every year. Those first few games, someone surprises you, steps up that you maybe weren't expecting. I think for the boys, that's Whitaker Ellis this year.
Oh, yeah.
Has really blossomed from an average player, not to insult him, but to become an elite player this year and make a huge impact. Who maybe on the girls' team do you think could be a similar impact player?
Oh,
not to put you on the spot or anything.
No. I don't know. I think there are a lot of girls that have the potential to do that. I can't say because this is the season opener.
Right.
Maybe after this game, I will have a better understanding. Kylie Pate has done really good the past year. She was a big contribution, not on the offensive side, but on the defensive side, also stealing the ball and getting on the court. I could see her, even though she already did have a lot of potential, I could see her being a really big star this year. Definitely
a good pick, and a lot of sophomores that were on that team last year that now return as juniors. So now a lot of what do you call it? Not overclassmen.
Underclass? Or
blanking on the word. We're both blanking on the word. Matt, what is the word? Our producer Matthew.
Upperclassmen?
Upperclassmen. I forgot the word. Upperclassmen. There we go. A lot of upperclassmen on this team. Paris Buchanan was only a freshman last year. She returns as a sophomore. There are new players coming up from JV, and the JV team did very well last year under Sophie Bin. You have Shireen Arakot, Lila Bacon, Bella Weinberg, and that is it. So three new players called up from JV. You had 2 players graduate last year that were impactful, but obviously a lot of returners. We're 4 minutes away from tip-off. The College Park Falcons last year, record was not too great either. However, they play in a good league out of Pleasant Hill in the East Bay. They played Piner last year, so that would be the comparable team. They beat them in a close game, and the Trojans did similar. So we're expecting a close game, and it should be a good test for the Trojans, who are very successful in their scrimmages so far.
Yeah, I couldn't say it better myself. The East Bay has a lot of good talent to offer. I have not watched College Park before. This would be a first time for me. I'm just hoping to see the girls fight hard and get a dub.
Definitely. So this will be their home opener. They go to the Gold Rush Shootout for a tournament at Piner. Should be a good test. They open against Colfax. That's just in 2 days, the 30th, so that's Thursday. And then we are back here next Tuesday for another live stream as they will face the Novato Hornets, a more local team, and that should be another good game. Novato, a good team. As this team looks to improve, they improved a lot, as we mentioned, over the course of last year under head coach John Ratchin. So a second year under a coach should offer a lot more improvement. As you said, should be interested to see. We are under 3 minutes away from tip-off. The national anthem and introductions are coming up in a moment. And on Saturday, we had the varsity boys basketball team's season opener, and there was a lot of excitement at that as well.
Oh, I'm always super excited to watch basketball. Basketball is one of my favorite sports to watch. Boys basketball in particular, I saw a lot of good talent that was going on. And like you said before, Whitaker Ellis stepping up. I saw a lot of players off the bench that were doing really good. Robbie Izetta, the junior, who made varsity last year as a sophomore, didn't get a lot of minutes, but when he came in last year, he had some clutch shots that helped the Trojans. This year, I saw him as a leader, like you'd think he was a senior. Right. I could see him being a good starter this year with Trey Davis having a sprained ankle and a boot. I could see Robbie stepping up to take that position. Also with Brandon O'Neill, as he got Defensive Player of the Year last year in the SEL. He was only a junior last year, so this year as a senior, I'm hoping he does it again and maybe even gets the MVP.
A lot of experience, a lot of seniors on that squad, and they're competing for an SEL title, no doubt, this year, and it's been since 93 since they last won an SEL title. So it could be something historic this year, and head coach Scott Bear says they don't want to look ahead, but a lot of excitement around this team, and certainly the Annalee game and the Healdsburg games will be big to see if they can put a banner in the gym. And unlike the girls team, which has had a lot of success in the past, they won a state title or were state runner-up NorCal champions back in 2000 under longtime head coach Doug Johnson. The boys team has really built a program that was really dormant for a long time.
Well, yeah, definitely I've talked to a couple of the boys on the boys team, and they're expecting the SEL title, nothing less. They all really want it. I would not see a problem with them getting it. They're going to have to fight hard, not just expect them to get it, but I'm expecting a good year out of them.
And we can head on court because we are looking to get underway. I guess no national anthem tonight. Not sure why. Continues to be that they play the national anthem sometimes at boys, or always at boys games, and only sometimes at girls games. But tip should be just underway. Teams getting their final huddles, and certainly a lot of nerves to start season opener. They've been practicing, preparing all summer, all fall for this big moment.
Oh yeah. Totally. It's always really exciting to see the season opener. The girls, I obviously are nervous, but also excited.
Let's listen to PA announcer Michael Barabal. Matt, can we turn off the light? And maybe turn up the PA a little.
A senior number 5, Evelyn Kim. A junior number 11, Megan Downing. A sophomore number 13, Melanie Cordova Smith. A senior number 21, Nicole Ashmore. And a senior number 22, Kiani Ramirez. That was coached by Brad Soldier, assisted by Michelle Robinson. Speak the lineup for the Trojans. A junior, number 10, Kylie Payton. A senior, number 11, Nicole Costa. A senior, number 21, Courtney Teppel. A senior, number 24, Kelsey Martin. And a junior, number 44, Jaden Chris. Trojans coached by John Ratchet, assisted by
And almost ready to go. There were the introductions. The starters for the Trojans: Costa, Christ, Tate, Martin,
Temple.
and Temple. Thank you. And College Park looking excited for this game. They've been working a long time. They have a relatively experienced team. They have four seniors on their squad and a couple other juniors. They're made up primarily of, forgot the word again, not overclassmen.
Upperclassmen.
Upperclassmen. I don't know. Sometimes I can't find that word. Right. It should make sense.
Lower up. Here we go. We're getting the tip-off. We have Jaden Chris, number 44, getting a tip-off. She is the tallest person on the court tonight, taller than anyone on College Park. Here we go, tip-off with 2 juniors on the starting lineup for the Trojans. And here we go with the tip-off.
She'll tip off with Cordova Smith. Chris tips it to
Courtney Temple,
and we are underway here. 8 minutes, 4 quarters, and Costa, sweet stroke to start. She is so confident with her shot, isn't she?
Oh, yeah. She could have took 2 steps in right there to get an easy layup, but no, she wanted the jumper, and she swished it.
It's what she's comfortable with. The 5'10", small forward team captain.
Yeah.
Averaged 7 points last year. The drive by Cordova Smith doesn't fall, and Costa pulls down another rebound. She is a stat stuffer. Averaged 3 rebounds last year, which in this game is a fair amount for high school girls basketball. Martin along the baseline. Temple, that is a 3. Too strong.
Oh, Trojans pick up the rebound, pass back to Courtney Temple. She's passing it down to Jaden Chris in the corner. As Jaden Chris looks at the ball, she passes back up to Kelsey. She's looking for the direct back to Courtney. As she gives it to Nicole in the corner, not a lot of movement going on from the outside. Jaden Chris with the big 3, and she swishes it. Wow.
Sweet stroke by Chris. And this, we talked about, thought there might be some nerves, but don't see that so far from the Trojans.
Oh, no. Really confident passing and shooting. As now the Trojans are 2 from 3.
And a foul, ticky-tack foul on Martin. Annika Schmidt running camera tonight. Matthew Kalemba producing. And forgot to mention, we have the wonderful new banner that you saw behind us. That our producer, Matthew, wonderfully set up, and we'll hope to have for many of our basketball games, along with our interviews after the game with players. 3-ball rattles out by Downing. 5-0, and the Trojans head the other way. Already pulled down an offensive board.
Passes Jaden Chris in the, she's getting smothered down low.
And that's certainly
what strip. Oh, she gets the, is this going to be a jump ball?
Certainly College Park's game plan there is with the tallest player on the court, they had to find a strategy to deal with such a talented player.
Oh, yeah. I thought that was a good movement. I think forcing to the middle on the first possession coming down, it was not a fast break opportunity. I think they could have worked it out on the outside instead of throwing it to Chris right in the middle as she got just double teamed, stripped, and then the ball hit the ground to get a jump ball, and now it is College Park's ball going down the court.
Maybe a little rush. Kim with a nice pass to Cordova Smith, who's been very active so far, and she's the Falcons, only a sophomore center, and certainly someone to watch on the defensive end for the Trojans.
Ooh,
they swing it. Costa feeling confident. She's been on varsity a lot, and she is so confident on the court. She believes, I think, that she's the best player, and she plays like it.
Oh, yeah, no, definitely. She's not afraid to shoot that ball from besides the arc, and doesn't really, I mean, obviously she cares, but doesn't really look like she cares if she misses the ball, which is something a lot of players have to do. You can't hold your hand down your head down if you shoot the ball and miss, because you got to get up and get on the court to score again.
Pressure's not on her. Air ball by Kim, and the Trojans will take back over early minutes here. We thank you for joining us live here at the Petaluma High School gym, as it's a season opener for the Petaluma girls varsity basketball team as they face the College Park Falcons.
Jane picked off.
Good steal, and then Pate got it back. A lot of loose ball scrambles so far.
Courtney Temple, the point guard. Nicole Costa with another 3, and that will be a little off. Jane Chris with the rebound, right up to Pate, inside jumper, and makes it.
Pate hits, and the Trojans pulling down tons of offensive boards early here, and they're going to make life tough for the Falcons if they keep on doing that.
Yeah, if Jane Chris stays down low and keeps getting that rebound, College Park will not be getting a lot of rebounds.
Into Cordova Smith, she lost it. Trojans take over. 3 minutes remaining here in the first quarter. And Pate, junior point guard, returns after her sophomore campaign. She averaged 3 points a game, put up 77 points. She was just so consistent. And Coach Ratchin really appreciated her contributions and could always provide that effort and fire.
Ooh, another pick.
A drive and taken away. And the other way goes Downing. And just a little off. And the Falcons are the one looking maybe a little nervous to start here. A few shots badly off the mark.
Yeah, and they're looking a little aggressive towards the Trojans. I think the Trojans might need to step it up a little bit and kind of push back. They are stripping the ball and pushing in, boxing out to get these loose balls. And need it back. Back to the Costa for the 3.
Brad Singler is the coach for the Falcons, who a lot of tip balls, but Trojans have controlled, and unlucky there by Costa. That ball was hitting out, and then it just chipped off her chest as she tried to avoid it. Falcons will take back over, turnover on the Trojans, and that was certainly an issue last year, and that's sort of a trademark of a young team to see a lot of turnovers, and it's something Coach Ratchin is really focused on.
Oh, yeah. I'm wondering what, this being the season opener, I'm wondering what the coach's game plan this year is and what he has to say that they have to work on coming back from last year being his first year.
We'll certainly talk with head coach John Ratchin after the game, along with the stars of the game. Martin's 3 just too strong. She had a good look there, but couldn't hit. And the senior captain point guard Kim takes it back up. The give and go, and Chris was right there, and the fast break the other way.
To
Martin.
Kelsey with
that was well run, wasn't it?
Oh, yeah, a good bounce pass right to Kelsey down in the middle. Good fast break and good steal by Jaden Christ.
Falcons trying to talk it over and get some explanations into their passing game. Their offense has just looked a little out of sorts, just a lot of drives, but not really a lot of rhythm or play so far.
Good shot. Shot won't go down for College Park as now it'll be the Trojans' ball.
And this Trojan defense is just forcing a lot of contested shots as we've seen Aricott and Catarizoli enter. First varsity appearance for Shireen Aricott, the sophomore. One of the nicest people you will meet on campus. Lily Catarizoli, a member of our Trojan Live team as well.
Oh yeah, Lily, I'm hoping a lot of good stuff out of her this year. I'm hoping to get a lot of pointers from her dad. Her dad was actually one of the best basketball players out of Petaluma.
I heard about that.
He averaged over 30 points a game.
Wow.
And yes, in high school. Wow. And he went on to play at San Diego University.
That is impressive.
30
points a game. That is unheard of at the high school level.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the Catarizzolis are certainly an athletic family with their sister and their golfing exploits. It's a 3. Lily, a star player on the varsity girls golf team, led them to an SCL title this year.
Oh, yeah, no. She is definitely an athlete, I can tell you that.
And her sister was a star on the golf team as well before she graduated last year. Wouldn't go down for the Falcons, who can't buy a shot right now. Costa already with 5 points. Brad Singler is screaming at the Falcons. An aggressive play by Shireen Aricott. It wouldn't go.
That was a good boot by Aricott.
It was.
She went up, down, faked it, and got the shot off, just didn't go in. Foul by Nicole Costa on number 21 on the Falcons.
Was Ashmore, there are 4 captains on the Falcons, and they do have the unluckiness of having a small team here today. The roster fills out with 12, but only 9 players, just 4 additional on the bench, so there are going to be a lot of players out there. First one off the mark by Ashmore, and they need some points. The JV team was a successful start. They absolutely demolished the Falcons in that game. Head coach Sophie Bin of the JV team that was very successful last year. And they still get a lot of those players back because there were so many returning players on varsity.
As Nicole Costa takes a seat and Paris Buchanan comes in.
Only a sophomore is Buchanan, and she is the shortest player on the team. She's only 5'2", but she has a lot of speed and athleticism, and that pays off. Yeah.
Bad pass to Lily Catarizzola as a jump ball, and that will be the Trojans' ball.
Good play by Kim, and she's clearly the center and captain here. She's tried to encourage them, but the Falcons already looking like losing a little bit of energy, and their head coach trying to encourage them up as the refs have a conversation here. Late in the first. How many viewers we got tuned in, Matthew? 4 viewers tuned in. Oh, two of our varsity boys basketball players tuned in. That is wonderful.
Shout out Kenny, free Kenny. He is a transfer from Cardinal Newman. Jack Anderson starting center for the boys
impact.
Trojans. Burke.
Good board pulled down. When will Kenny be eligible?
January.
So just in time for league play, but
yeah,
they want him as soon as possible. His size and skill, which I certainly saw when he was at junior high, is unparalleled, and he should provide a big impact for the Trojans.
Oh yeah, I have big hopes for Kenny Alexander. Coming from Cardinal Newman.
Yes.
They have a very good team there.
One of the best in the state, their boys basketball program and their girls basketball program.
Oh, what
and Arcot again trying to go up strong, but good defense there by Cordova Smith.
Good block. Reminds you of Jack Anderson on the boys Trojans.
Good pump fake and try the Tony Parker drive, but you can't try the Tony Parker drive if there's hands in your face, and that was Pate with the block. Buchanan takes it the other way under a minute here in the first quarter.
Jane Chris in the middle, good move, and that'll be almost an and one, so she will go to the line.
And the Falcons double-teamed her to start and got the steal, but they haven't been able to return to that. That often for a lot of teams, that's the only way to contain her because you just don't have someone that tall.
Oh, yeah, no. And usually with someone that big, as you see all around in college and even in the NBA, she will airball the first free throw.
There's some nerves.
There we go for the season opener. That's what we were looking for. Yeah, but someone with her size, you usually don't see a lot of shooting beyond the arc, but she hit a 3 earlier, and that is the points that she has. And the second shot will be in.
She was embarrassed after that first one. Looked better, and it was big last year. She was out all the way until January last year, only got into 15 games. She had a pretty bad leg injury during the volleyball season. She's also a member of the varsity volleyball team. So the Trojans got her back not until January, where she was a big contribution, and that really helped the Trojans improve over the course of the year last year, even with all their struggles. And now I think really fully healthy this year, and she's such an athlete.
Oh, yeah, most definitely. Now on the Trojans, Cassidy Bacon comes in. And none of these starting players for the Trojans are in. They're all new players off the bench.
Also have Lila Bacon, sophomore, brought up from JV this year, entered, and it's a deep team for Coach Ratchen with all this experience.
I wonder what it's like playing with your older sister on the same team.
Must be interesting for Cassidy and Lila as the foul on Cassidy Bacon. And this is Downing to the line for 2.
Downing's playing really good defense, number 11 on College Park, as she takes the second shot, and that is in for her free throw.
And solid defense so far by the Falcons has kept them hanging around, but they're going to have to find some way to generate offense, so this will be a long night for them.
Good move by Paris Buchanan as she pulls it back out, number 5 on her.
More good defense by Kim.
Back
Gets
out
it off
to
to
Bacon.
Cassidy
Passes
Bacon.
it back to Paris.
And both Cassidy and Lila Bacon were on JV last year, both called up.
Ooh,
Cassidy really one of the stars of the JV team. Arcot with another good probing move.
Good move by Lila Bacon.
Bacon can't hit.
Oh, what?
And stepping on the line was Sophia Gill, the junior forward. 7.1. Shot clock is turned off, and Trojans will get one final opportunity on a successful first quarter here. And not a great pass. The press was strong there. And a good play by Buchanan. Couldn't get a shot off. Let's head back on to us. And a great job by everyone so far, and a great job by the Petaluma Trojans as they came out and they looked confident, not too much nerves, and defense especially was stifling.
Oh, yeah, I totally agree on that one. I saw a lot of good shots by the Trojans getting up. They put up more shots than College Park did and a lot more dropped as it is 12-4 at the end of the first quarter.
And we certainly see some rust on the College Park side and a little bit on the Trojan side. And so far just looks well-rounded. If they can make we saw a couple threes, but we know they can go inside to Jaden Christ. Obviously, that's huge if you can generate the offense from the inside, and it will always free up the offense from the outside.
Oh, I totally agree. And with Nicole Costa only taking 1 3, which she missed, but she had some inside jumpers, as she got her fouled and went and sat down. As she comes back in, I'm expecting at least a 3 from her later in the game.
And the Trojans hoping to possibly return to NCS this year. They haven't been back since 2015, which was the first year after legendary coach Doug Johnson retired. And obviously a big deal to make NCS, and 16 teams make it. There's about, varies by year, but about 24, 25 teams in the section. So certainly an improved team would be expected to be back there and making the postseason so huge.
Oh, yeah, and it's always so exciting to go to STL, even
court.
if you're on the team or if you are just go to the same school. I always love, no matter what sport it is, having someone at our school, my school, go to STL.
Yeah, a lot of fun. And Trojans were one of the best teams in NCS for a long time, but when head coach Doug Johnson retired after all the great work he'd done, it had to go into rebuilding, and they muddled through some coaches, but it seems like they maybe have found a keeper, and head coach John Ratshin, who he's so passionate about the Trojans. I saw him at all the football games and volleyball games. He's really into the Trojan pride.
Oh, yeah, that's something you want from a coach.
They swing it in a good steal, but
Lily kind of gets the ball back as
I don't know how there's a foul there. They barely touched Catterzoli, but Falcons have got a lot of hands in there, but they just have not been able to corral the ball, and the Trojans have been able to maintain it.
As Paris the ball passes it down, good move. Back to Paris out on the outside.
A lot of double teams.
Ooh, as she, right there is when you see her size comes in, because her being so small compared to the other players, as she put the ball up, she got hit.
And a great play by Arcot to pick up the offensive board and lay it in. And you're seeing the aggressive double team adjustment at the end of the first quarter that the Falcons made to try to generate more pressure, but right now they're just struggling to actually corral those turnovers or get rebounds. And you can't win basketball games like that, can you?
No, and of course not. You need also team play as we go. Paris comes down, has a layup from her. Oh, she misses, and Lily Catterzoli there with the rebound to lay it up for another 2 points for the Trojans. They now it's 16-4.
Another offensive board given up. Catterzoli gets on the board. And a little bit of press here by the Trojans, and that's only going to frustrate the Falcons more, isn't it?
Oh, yeah. Shot thrown up by one of the College Park players as Lily Catterzoli fights for it, as it is a
jump ball.
Arrow
points towards the Falcons. But a good physical play there by Catterzoli.
She fought for the ball. As I always think it is better to get a jump ball than to lose the ball, so you better hold on for your life.
It will switch the arrow over. 16-4, 6:27 tuned in. Appreciate you tuning in live here to the Petaluma High School gym for the season opener for the varsity girls basketball team. And we'll be back at it next Tuesday when they continue against Novato. They have a tournament over the weekend. And trying to save it after the poor pass was Downing, but could not corral it. And just a lot of wild passes and just a little bit wild plays. Falcons have been out of control.
Yeah, and here we go, Bella Weinberg into the game as she is a first-year varsity player. Let's see what she can contribute to the team. I did not watch a lot of JV last year, so I don't know who from the JV team will be good contributions to the varsity team, as College Park does have been another shot.
Weinberg was a starter last year, and she was against Alhambra. She had 2 3 throws. They were down 1 to win the game, and she banked the first one in, nothing but net on the second, and that won a game against a really good Alhambra team. So that was an exciting moment as Bacon fell on the floor, and
I'm not sure how that
Falcons
was a jump ball.
I think the Falcons got their hands on that. Arrow will point back towards the Falcons. But we're still looking for offense, just 4 points, and they found 2 of those from the line so far, just 1 field goal. Good defense is everything you've wanted from the Trojans.
Can't win games without defenses, no matter how good your offense is.
See it again there. It was a 2 blocks. They call a foul. Will be a shooting foul.
As I see Kylie Pate about to come in, I'm guessing that will be put in for Lila Bacon, as that is her second foul.
Ramirez, 2 from the line. Trojans really struggled from the field as Ramirez misses her first. They were just 27% shooting last year. Mentioned they had 31.9 points per game over the course of the year. 19% from downtown, which isn't too bad, with Nicole Costa being a big part of that, as you mentioned. 50% from the line and 860 points over the course of the year.
As Nicole Costa uses her speed.
Another double team there. Park takes it away, and they have numbers. But great job getting back, and then a great board pulled down by Costa. She is so physical.
She gets pulled out, and it'll be the Trojans' ball. Earlier, that last possession, you saw Costa move the ball down really fast, and she can handle the ball better than a lot of girls out here, so that speed with her handles really contribute to getting the ball down quick and getting a quick point. As Angelina Skakalowski comes into the game, good pass to her as she goes in.
And last year, the Trojans were, as College Park forces another turnover here, and will get the break the other way. And a nice play late in. They finally get going. Medina and Coach Ratchin wants to call timeout as the Trojans didn't get back. Only a 10-point game here. If College Park can find some offense, they can maybe get into this a little bit. But certainly last year the Trojans had a lot of games, especially early. They had an 0-7 start to their year. Tough start. Had a lot of good teams, and they were just outmatched. But this year the talent is so much better, and it might be vice versa sometimes.
Oh, yeah, I totally agree.
A lot of talented players. The experience so huge for them. 4:49 remaining in the second, and right now Costa, Christ, a couple others have just looked like they've been a little bit more talented and have a little bit more skill than most of the players on the Falcons.
Oh yeah. As College Park comes back onto the floor, it is 16-6 with 4 minutes 49 seconds left in the second quarter.
And height big as well. Trojans certainly towering over the Falcons in most regards, especially with Chris and Costa as they throw it inside.
Pass by Bella Weinberg right to Jane Chris. She threw it nice and high, knowing that Jane Chris can use her height as an advantage, which is something that everyone needs to do. If they
you can just lay that right in off the boards, and no chance for your defense with that, as we have an air ball by Downing.
If Jane Chris has the ball in her hands and can hold the ball up, it's going to be really hard to get it from her.
I get it right back to
Angelina
her.
Skakalowski with the shot, and it is close, and Nicole Costa will get the rebound as it's Bella Weinberg for her first varsity shot, and it is in!
Well, that's going to give you some confidence.
Oh, yeah.
First varsity appearance, and you want them making shots. We already saw Arcot looking aggressive, and both Bacon sisters looking strong as well. Costa with a steal, and she never misses those. Timeout. Coach Schillinger for the Falcons, and that is the offense you want by the Trojans.
Perfect.
Costa so confident everywhere on the court. Some players might go down the court and feel a little tentative knowing someone's behind them. Costa, as you mentioned, she doesn't feel that pressure.
Oh, yeah, no, especially being I wouldn't say she's small. She's definitely tall. I wouldn't say she's as tall as someone like Jane Chris, but she's definitely one of the taller ones on the team. And as she came down and got the layup.
Yeah, timeouts go back to us.
As we got the layup, Nicole Costa scored another 2 points. It's 22-6. Trojans with the lead in the second quarter.
And Trojans in control. A lot of talent on this squad. We mentioned they have the Gold Rush shootout coming up at Piner, then Novato next Tuesday, and then they will be on the road at Casa. That's a Friday night. It's going to be the Egg Bowl, varsity girls. And last year they were beat up pretty good by the Gauchos, but judging by the talent tonight, they should have a real shot at beating Casa Grande, and that should be huge.
Oh, yeah, no, definitely. I love that crosstown rivalry that we have with Casa, and everyone wants that game so bad. Definitely. Everyone always plays their best when they play against Casa, so I'm hoping if this is only the season opener, I'm excited to see what else we'll do later in the year.
That's the excitement of a season opening, and we will be live streaming that game against Casa Grande. We have 3, counting this one as a nice lay-in by Ramirez out of the timeout. A good play set up out of the break. We will be live streaming that. We have 3 live streams, counting this one, over the next week and a half for varsity girls basketball. So you can get
Bella
your
Weinberg
fill.
Gets an assist.
And a great pass to Skakalowski. And the Trojans are just, right now, they are just setting up. Sorry, you might not have been able to hear me there. They're just setting up on the block. And I don't know where the Falcons' defense is.
Falcons have had some good defense late in the game as number 11. Oh, long 3, and that is swirled out of the rim, as that'll be a big game changer here, as it is 8-24.
Haven't been able to find those shots.
The Falcons have gotten a lot of shots. I wouldn't know
up and under
as much as the Trojans, but they're just not falling in the hoop.
An up and under attempt by Skakalowski, and she heads to the line. First foul on Ashmore, and the 4th team foul on the Falcons. If you get to 7, you head to the 1-and-1 bonus, 10, and you get 2 automatic free throws from the line. Scacolosi smooth on the first, 24-9. And it's a busy schedule for the Trojans with the tournament. Novato, Casa the very next day. They continue facing Petaluma teams, so a little pool play against all the Petaluma teams. They were at St. Vincent's against the Mustangs. And then just the Tuesday next should get a really good test against Maria Carrillo of the MBL. And then they're at a tournament that next weekend against Tamalpais. They've got I would say, challenging and very busy non-conference schedule. And that, what are the benefits of that?
Well, there are a lot of benefits and a lot of bad things to it. One thing with basketball is how you just have so many games all the time as number 21 shoots down a 3.
Ashmore the 3.
Nicole Ashmore. With basketball, you have a lot of games all the time. You have a couple games a week, which is much different than football where you only have one once a week. It can be challenging and it can be fun. There's both. Playing basketball previously, I have felt that, and at the end of like playing away and away and away, it's not so fun. But at the beginning, I love playing so much. It's definitely more fun than playing only once a week.
Jumper off the mark from Christ, and certainly a lot of great experience played. You got 2 tournaments in there. You got some good MBL teams, MCAL as well. And they will be ready for the Annalise and the Sonomas by facing those teams when they head into league play in January. Ooh. Nice move by Martin, one of the experienced seniors on the squad.
That was a really good move. She used his backboard to hit the shot in, which is something you don't see a lot.
The nice dribble past the defender, generating the open shot. How many viewers we got, Matthew? 5 tuned in. Appreciate everyone. The chat is warming up, apparently. If we got any good comments, we'd love to talk to the viewers as the place is, layup is laid in by Ramirez. A little bit of offense here by College Park. Should raise their confidence a little bit in this first game.
Oh. I'm seeing a lot of good moves coming up under the basket from the Trojans, but it's just not getting in.
Some up and unders, maybe don't see that as much in the girls' game, but the Trojans have tried that, and College Park is finally heating up as we reach a minute left to go in this half. And if they can build this momentum, this is only a 13-point game. This game is not over.
Oh, yeah, no, it's definitely not.
And the Trojans' offense has shown shades.
Getting Nicole Costa with the 3, and it is barely off as College Park would get the rebound.
Costa shakes her head. She's gone cold after 5 early points, and the Falcons have made their last 3 shots, getting some confidence. They had just 4 points in the first quarter, but now they've put up 11 here in the second. It's a 12-second differential between game clock and shot clock. Ashmore back to Kim. And this is good zone defense by the Trojans, and they forced the turnover. That was big, with the Falcons starting to warm up from the field.
Oh, yeah. That's Courtney
Temple.
Goes down to Nicole Costa, down to
a laser pass into
5
Chris.
Seconds left as she should just shoot it. Oh, Kylie Pitt with the 3. And it will not drop in as the time will expire, and that is the end of the first half.
Well, Falcons picked it up a little there. And good to see that we will see some competition. This is only a 13-point game. As much as it feels like the Trojans have really dominated for stretches, as much as it feels like the Trojans have really dominated for stretches here, College Park is right there.
Yeah, definitely in that last couple minutes, I saw a lot of spark out of the College Park, and if they play like that and get up, the Trojans might have some trouble later on in the game.
But nonetheless, a really aggressive defense by the Trojans, a zone defense, and that's looked pretty effective so far.
Yeah, I mean, if you're facing a team that has only hit 1 shot from the 3, yeah, zone's looking pretty good. And
maybe Annika Schmidt can join us as well for halftime. If we have any good comments, now would be a great time.
Annika.
As Annika might be making her way down here in a moment. But the Trojans' offense really spreading the wealth so far, showing how deep they are.
Mm-hmm. Most definitely. Annika.
So they've got Buchanan, Costa, Pate, both Bacon sisters, Aracon, Christ, and Weinberg all on the, and Catarizoli on the scoreboard.
Wanna take over?
That is over half their team. Annika's going to join us for halftime, I believe. And then Luca will be rejoining us for the exciting start of the second half here in it's a quiet Tuesday night here in the gym. As I hope someone gets that basketball. Oh, oh, oh. What a save by producer Matthew Kalemba. I'm apologize for the whiplash you just saw on the camera, but it might have saved the camera. Yeah, as the ball just by a small child was slowly trickling towards the camera. You're only seeing black right now, so you'll get us back in a moment as Annika joins us, and we back. Cool. All right, Annika getting on her mic. As mentioned, a quiet night, about 50 people here tonight for this Tuesday night, coming back on the work week and a chilly one. So not too many people out for the season opener, but good to see the people that we do have. As Annika, it was a nice first half. Exciting to see the season opener and a lot of players stepping up for the Trojans.
Yeah, I saw the coach do a switch there in the middle where he put in practically all new players, and I was quite shocked. I'm like, okay, we got some players coming out that might have not seen so much court time before, but it was refreshing, and we're obviously ahead. And
yes, it really shows the depth. Nonetheless, as I was telling Luca, and we might want a camera defender right now, as this boy is putting up some serious shots, but it's making me a little nervous.
Also, we have Luca out there now,
yes,
so
and,
we never know what could happen.
Luca and Michael are showing off their basketball skills, and they're not bad basketball players either.
I think we should get someone on the camera to go film that.
Anyways, College Park's still there. It's only a 13-point lead, but a lot of good scoring by the Trojans. They put up 28 points, but the Falcons warmed up late, and they found a little bit of an offensive rhythm, so the Trojans can't just fall asleep here.
That's definitely true.
As this Falcons team plays hard, they've got a good coach, and there's some good players on that team.
Yeah, and you can see that, the way they move the ball from each side of the court to the other. It's really impressive how fast they'll get it done.
And forcing some turnovers, that's certainly something the Trojans want to work on. They had that issue last year. Obviously, so much improvement, so much talent, experience compared to the losing campaign, but it was expected last year. It was a really young team. There was tons of sophomores, even a freshman first year for head coach John Ratchin. It was really a rebuilding year, but now it comes off and it pays off.
Yeah, we're coming into our own, and we have how many seniors on the team?
We have eight returning players, just 2 seniors graduated last year. It is.
So we have at least 3 seniors. I see Kelsey Martin, Courtney Temple, and
might only be
Nicole Costa right now.
Actually only 3, but a bunch of juniors. The majority of the team, upperclassmen. I finally got the word. I was really struggling on that before. What do we got on the chat, Matthew? Any shout-outs or questions? I heard it's apparently really popping. Don't like to use that word too much, but thanks to everybody who's keeping the chat going, and sounds like a lot of fun, and it's too much for our great producer Matthew to even monitor. George is tuning in. Oh, we got the full Varsity boys basketball team tuned in. This is pretty incredible.
Oh, wow, that's just great.
It shows the Trojan support we have out here, that the whole boys basketball team is tuning in to watch the girls and learn from them as well as this ball movement so far, and the aggressive defense, certainly something to learn from everybody playing basketball, and the improvement and perseverance that they've shown from what was a rough season for everybody last year. Anybody else tuned in, Matthew? Got Warrior tuned in as always. Up to 7 viewers. Thank you for everybody. We are live here at the I heard that. Yes, so we got over 50 people tuning in on. I was in the middle, actually. Sorry. We're here at the Petaluma Varsity girls basketball game live here, season opener against College Park. They lead 28-15 at the half. If you're just tuning in, 4 minutes away from the start of the second half, and a really exciting start. Should be a good second half, so don't go anywhere. But the boys' game, you were at that well, Annika. It was an exciting game. And Whitaker, Whitaker Ellis.
Speaking of boys basketball,
just about to bring him up. Shout out is probably an understatement to the way he played on Saturday night. They're all on here, Luca. It's pretty incredible to see the spirit. Everyone always wants interviews with Jack. He really is a charming man. Everyone really enjoys him. I think Luca wants the do you want the
Luca
mic quickly?
Wants to say,
It's good yuck.
okay, I'm not sure what
Luca's
that means,
buddies
but
with all them. It's probably a
Luca's
secret code.
definitely enthusiastic about both our boys and girls basketball teams here at Petaluma High School.
And Luca's actually the leader. Might ask him about a little later of the Trojan True, which is the student spirit section. At all the sporting events, so he was remember leading the football team student section. He had this huge speaker with music. He really gets that spirit going.
Yeah, and he's also one of our rally commissioners this year for ASB, as far as I know. So yeah, it's just one of his talents, and of course he's a
born leader.
Team member of Trojan Live. You should really catch him anchoring. He comes into his own there on camera.
Speaking of born leaders, back to the varsity boys basketball team, and we were talking about Whitaker Ellis. What a breakout game he had on Saturday.
He was scoring more than we thought was possible from someone who last season we saw more of a
role player.
Yeah. So he's coming to a new position, really, it seems.
Role player to star, and a lot of improvement by a lot of players. Luca mentioned Robbie Izetta, who should have big contributions, the junior, but it was just an outstanding game. They really dominated, and we mentioned they're competing for SCL. They're looking to go back to NCS for the third straight time. Probably hasn't happened since the 80s, since Back to the Future was the #1 movie. So, I mean, some history that they are making. And we will have our next live stream for them. They are at Novato, actually the same day the girls are, next Tuesday.
Oh, how practical for us.
Yes, and then our next live stream will be the Varsity Boys Basketball Egg Bowl. And you want to talk about spirit and excitement. You talk about that. I was here last year when that happened. This gym was completely filled, every seat filled. It felt like the roof was going to go off as the Trojans really blitzed the Gauchos it was a third straight victory. So it was an exciting game, and that is, let's see, I believe that's on the 12th. It'll be a Tuesday night, I think. Don't count me on that. It's on the 12th. We'll announce it on Trojan Live. So it should be really exciting at Casa Grande. And then the Girls Egg Bowl we mentioned as well. So a lot of excitement with all the basketball teams.
And so the girls basketball team, they have a tournament coming up this weekend?
Yeah, we mentioned 2 tournaments, a lot of stuff. They're at the Gold Rush Shootout at Piner. They're going to start Thursday at Colfax. And a lot of tournaments this weekend. I'm getting the pleasure of going to maybe the top tournament in the county. Cardinal Newman is the host. But it's at the JC, and Cardinal Newman will be there. They're going to have a lot of top teams there. 8 viewers. It is going up. I think the entire Varsity Boys basketball team is going to tune in, which is absolutely wonderful. And we also have a lot of other sports going on. So we're 1 minute away from the start of the second half. The girls soccer team, Varsity girls soccer team, season opener, Egg Bowl as well.
No way.
Yeah.
We're going to have to catch them all.
See if I have a score report. We did have a reporter there.
It's tonight?
It was tonight. It is over.
Oh, no.
I will try to get a score report on that later and see if they pulled out a win against Casa whenever the Petaluma and Casa meets. It just means more. And the boys soccer team also, So Luca's going to switch with Annika. The boys soccer team also opened up their season yesterday. Season opener against American Canyon. They fell short 1-0. They really outplayed the Wolves, but just could not find a goal. But they should have a solid team this year. They're scrimmaging at Santa Rosa next week before they will face Marin Catholic. And a wrestling team, defending SCL champions. They have a scrimmage against Casa in a couple weeks. A lot of excitement for them as we welcome Luca Dabano back, who's getting his mic. Thank you for Annika for doing a wonderful job, and she's also doing a wonderful job with the camera as well. As 28-18, we are getting ready for the start of the second half. Back on court.
Am I working? Does it say I'm working? Hey, hello everyone, as I am back, Luca Bono. I was putting up shots.
Yeah, you were showing some skill there.
Oh, thank you. I get more buckets than Kenny, so it's fine.
Nice drive, but
Whitaker can't check
unable to finish by Kelsey Martin. It's hard to score buckets when you're ineligible. Oh, no,
Sneak this.
No, it's
Sneak this.
Yeah, I wish he was eligible. It's
I wish he was too,
hard.
because I could see him drop 2 a game. Maybe.
3 ball is hit
As College Park hits a 3.
Nicole Ashmore. And we talked about, oh, the net got stuck there. We talked about they look confident with their shot, and they brought that that hot stroke into the second half. Trojans have to watch out.
Oh, they definitely have to watch out. Oh, almost a steal by College Park. Kylie Pate with the down low, and that is a miss. Almost a 2 by the Trojans.
It was a good look by Martin, but she couldn't hit. And College Park playing with some confidence, some swagger.
Yeah, is the camera still? Hey, Columba.
Matthew,
is the camera on us or is it out there?
Yeah.
Why
You
is
got the light.
still on? Yeah, bro, it's hurting my eyes.
Kim drive, offensive board.
As College Park gets it out for the 3, and it will be
my.
another 3 by College Park.
And all of a sudden, timeout, Coach Ratchet. No, I'm sorry, just a whistle. They keep on getting the net stuck. They're feeling good. The switch of baskets has changed. What has changed, Luca?
That locker room talk, I think maybe since the Trojans were up by so much, they're like, we're going to have this easy. But College Park obviously shows that's not the case as Kelsey takes a jumper, and that is so close again as College Park gets it.
Martin's really trying, but right now 3 straight shots. She's got to find some teammates because she's clearly ice cold.
She's cold.
And right now, College Park,
George.
It's a 7-0 run since the start of the half. Or excuse me, a 5-0 run, but they had a 5-0 run at the end of the half, so it's a 10-0 run. Trojans led by as much as 18. It was 13 at the
another
half.
Shot, and it's close.
And they are feeling confident.
If the Trojans are not going to be hitting these jumpers, they got to start going for layups. As back to Nicole Costa out for the 3 as they get in their face, and she...
Costa's the go-to shooter if they need someone.
Come on.
Chris couldn't get much on that. Falcons ball.
Can't check.
Coach Ratchin just looking a little nervous now.
Can't check me.
Martin will sub out, wipes his bald head, and realizing that he's got a ball game on his hands after the Trojans really dominated the first quarter. College Park just couldn't score, but there's some talent on the team in purple.
What kind of layup from College Park?
Yeah, not a good finish. And when they look confident with their shots, it goes better. That's that nervous-looking shot.
Oh my God! She had a smile on her face, but we had Jaden Chris down low, and I doubt any of them wanted to go up with her down there.
Credit to Chris on the defensive end.
What?
Height.
Why? Who said it?
With Kenny, I think. Yeah.
What? Oh no, George Garb. George can say what he wants, bro.
We got an up to 9. Everyone tuning in. George Tynes, another player that should be contributing to the varsity team. We were wondering that as well.
Too. We don't know why the Garrett's. Wait, Garrett who? Freitas or Garing? Garing. He's Garb too.
Two Garretts actually on the varsity boys basketball team. And yes, they did switch as Chris split the 3 throws. For Coach Ratchin decided we will maybe ask him that after the game why he decided to switch the benches. So
yeah,
the girls are sitting on the traditional roadside. They actually entered out of the door we're behind when home team normally enters out of the other door.
That's where the boys come from, out of the other. Yeah, I have no idea.
Might just be a culture change. Not really sure.
Yeah, a culture change. Yeah, I'm not sure. Not sure what a culture change is.
Just switching things up.
As the Trojans have the ball on the other side of the
court. Some substitutions, 8-point lead.
Kylie Pate with the 3, and it is not even, it would have been behind the goal, or the backboard.
Maybe 2 open there.
She's shooting like Garrett. Oh, Costa with the, and it's another miss. That looks like George. And a rebound.
Come on,
with the miss. That looks like Jack Anderson. And back.
Arcott driving.
No, but the girl shots actually look.
And then it's
good 3 by Courtney.
Well, that was a sweet stroke by Temple.
One thing I've noticed is the girls shoot not with a huge arc, kind of like Garrett Garing. Garrett Garing kind of shoots very low to the, kind of just throws it at the board, hoping for one. As
turnover there, bad pass. Payne intercepts it. And a good hounding defense by Cam. They're trying to get more aggressive, but they force a travel. Well, that's what that defense does.
Yeah, they're giving her pressure, and she fumbled the ball while taking steps as a turnover, and is College Park's ball. Is College Park's boys raw? Because that sounds like college. I feel like.
I do not know. If you're unsure, raw means a team that is very good. That's new teenage lingo. I think I did use
I
what I forget what I used.
but
I did use Tina
Oh,
Jlingo before
three.
hit. Downing, and that's her third 3 of the night, and you talked about her defense.
Yeah.
She's quite a player.
I totally agree.
Justin Wolbert tuned in. I think we got enough to fill a whole lineup now of varsity boys basketball players.
Any other comments?
8 off the mark.
Is there any comments?
And College Park pulls it down. They trail by 8.
So far out of my neck.
Oh, what a
I
block
would talk
by
more out of my
Pate.
neck when you can shoot better. But
Well,
yeah.
Downing was hitting those threes, but Pate said no anymore.
Acosta, shoot that. Oh, Jordan Chris out to Courtney Temple as she looks for the ball. Good passing going on for an inside jumper.
She's fouled.
Oh, that was a weak foul.
It was Gill, junior forward who hasn't played too much, who fouled Arcot. She'll head to the line. She got her first 2 points of the night. Shireen Arcot, one of the head editors at Trojan Life. She's the head of the feature department, and she does a great job. Worked with her at the Trojan Tribune, and she's one of the hardest workers just there and in school in general, and one of the people you just enjoy talking to, and really makes the school better.
Well, that's good, and having a sport to play while you have so much going on in school is a big commitment.
Definitely.
I had that last year while I was trying to get a lot of schoolwork done.
Yeah, I know it myself
I had sports
as well.
in the way. It's hard to do both, but I'm glad she's got them both going on.
Downing stepped on the line there, so a costly
Grace.
turnover by College Park, and they've lost a little bit of that momentum.
Yeah, they were hot at first. Now they're down by 10 again. That's still a quick turnaround because they're down by a lot more as Jane Chris passes it back out.
And that aggressive defense
good.
trying to get some double teams prevented Crystal a little bit. Buchanan feeling it, and she's got it.
The sophomore on varsity hits a... She was out, but her foot was on the line, which will be a 2.
Just imagine that experience you started. She was playing... She was...
I take a deep breath, Garrett. Oh God, don't get
wow.
started.
She was playing a lot as a freshman, Buchanan, last year as the Trojans pulled down the offensive board. Good board by Chris.
Garrett's like a girl.
And such great experience for Buchanan. Just imagine as a senior, 4 years on the varsity team.
Yeah, I mean, that's amazing.
And Chris, after the air ball, sometimes with those air balls, the shot's so off, it's easier to get the offensive board. She heads to the line, and it's back out to a 12-point lead.
Let's see how Chris can do with these free throws as she airballed her first one, and now it is another airball.
Yeah, I wouldn't say that as I think she did hear that. It gets pretty quiet in the gym here.
She might have heard me say airball, and she airballed it.
Yes.
My bad. Hey, my bad, Jaden.
The announcers jinx. They either do exactly like
Dang
you say if you say it bad, or if you say something good, like nothing but net here, they almost certainly miss.
Let's say nothing but net and see what happens. And a miss.
Couldn't hit. 36-24. Falcons got it down to 7. They had the ball. It looked like they were making a run, but the Trojans responded, and they didn't even need a timeout.
No.
And that definitely shows a lot to be able to do that.
One thing I see a lot in this girls' game is a lot of good passing, but also when the people get the ball, when the girls get the ball, they do a fake jumper as if they're going to shoot, but then drive, which is a great thing that a lot of basketball players do, and it's cool to see a lot of that going on.
Downing.
Oh,
what a player.
Jump ball? Oh, I did a jump as she made the basket after she ripped through one of the Trojans.
And the Trojans trying an aggressive approach with Downing, talked about her skill and the really nice block by Pate, and now getting her hands in there. And
any other comments?
Skilled with the ball. 3 ball is way off the mark. Battle for the ball. One down by Gill. Another chance for Downing. She's really feeling it. Can't hit.
Flopped.
Player hit the ground.
Oh, hit her deep. Oh.
12-point lead.
Why Garrett keep talking? Does anyone else keep talking besides Garrett?
Costa 3 ball.
Oh, there we go, as I called earlier. What? Oh, George. I mean, I got
you
mad
certainly
respect for George,
do hold a close friendship, and it's all in good love with the
it's all
boys
good love.
basketball
I mean,
team.
I cheer for every person that goes in as
Off
I go and yell a lot at the basketball games. As the refs almost kicked me out of the last boys game, which was not fun. Yeah, all I was doing was standing up, and they told me to sit down, and I wouldn't sit down. And Yeah, no. I'm hoping to see a lot of that this year.
A lot of refs trying to kick you out?
Oh, yeah, no. As long as they don't do it, I'm just trying to get in their heads. And our boys' basketball team's good enough where they can respond if something like that happens. As I just want to cheer for them and
been some emotional, spirited games. Certainly remember the Annalee game last year. There was a lot of intensity in that one.
A lot of intensity at that game as we actually got a fan bus to go down there, as then we were disappointed as the boys fell very short to the Annalee Tigers.
Yes, and the home game against Annalee as well. That was a full gym. Obviously, mentioned the Casa game at halftime last year. And hoping with the girls' success that they can get similar attendance, but have not seen that yet.
Not yet. Later in the game, it's probably Costa and stuff. I'll get some students to come out and support them.
Should definitely. And could have some big games with Annalee and Sonoma that really mean things this year. Was poked out. Buchanan got it. Downing keeps on putting up shots for the Falcons, but now she's gone cold, and that has extended the deficit, and it's been off and on for the Falcons. They were ice cold in the first quarter. They got going in the second and into the third, but now they seemingly can't put the ball in the ocean.
Oh, come on. As not a good pass by
How many
Paris
viewers?
To Kylie.
5. And
who's still watching, send some comments.
Good.
As you'll respond to them.
Half court by Arcot.
The comments have stopped because they don't want
ball.
Oh, another three. Number 21, what is his name again?
Ashmore. And
Ashmore, she has a lot of threes. She's a lefty.
Seems like it might be 3 ball or nothing for the Falcons now.
Yeah, she keeps draining. She's looking like me out there.
Downing was hitting, but I need to turn to someone else. And don't forget to all our viewers, like this video. Check out all of our other, you can check out all the girls basketball games from last year, all the boys basketball games, all the live streams, all the road coverage, all the sports. We have a sports folder now, and then we can also divide folders by sport and year. So baseball, softball, lacrosse, wrestling, whatever you so desire, it's all there. And
as the ball gets put around College Park, a lot of big threes out of them. As I said earlier when we were talking about the Trojans playing a zone defense because they weren't hitting from shots out, but now that how's that light ball? Now that
Gil was on the sideline when she touched it.
Now that College Park's hitting these big threes, they might need to stand out there a little more, get a little closer.
So there is a 6-second differential between shot clock and game clock. Trojans lead by 11. We can see College Park can hit the 3, so this one is certainly not out of reach. Foul there, and Lucas shaking his head.
I just thought there's been I think about 4 jump balls in a couple of the other ones were a little questionable, but this one I thought was very questionable as Lila Bacon had the ball in her hand and the College Park player grabbed the ball and they called it a foul when I saw no contact, but can't change it now.
Air ball by Pate. Ashmore pulls it down. Shot clock is turned off, and again, aggressive defense there, and Trojans will take back over. 9.8 seconds remaining here in the third quarter.
I can't guard a step back post fake. You can't even do that move. I don't even know what you're talking about. If you did a step back post fake, bro, you're missing the layup or the shot or whatever you want to call it.
Bacon Arcot.
I don't have to play defense on you.
3 ball is good. Lila Bacon from downtown.
A buzzer beater from Lila Bacon, the sophomore, I believe, right?
Yes, just called up from JV, younger sister of Cassidy. And as we welcome you back, that had to be a big shot there. Give them some momentum.
Oh, yeah, no, definitely. As a buzzer beater, it's always exciting to have a buzzer beater as the Trojans are now up by 14, which is going back more.
I'm right here.
Sizemore, Griffin Sizemore joining. Hello, Griffin. Griffin Sizemore, a good friend of mine. Play fantasy with him. His team's not the best. Fantasy team.
Wow. Always unlucky often for teams. Got a 10-1 team this year, so feeling pretty lucky.
Oh, very lucky.
Yeah, Alvin Kamara doing big things for me.
That's the opposite of Robert Holmes on the basketball team. Yeah. His team's just awful.
You got to calm down on the insults. But
yeah.
Trojans lead by 14 here, and
he's not on it. He wants
have picked it up a little bit. They led by 13 in the quarter. Falcons got it down to 7, but Trojans have countered with some threes by the Falcons, and they've continued to spread that wealth. It seems like one player goes cold, they can just turn to the next.
Yeah, I know. Definitely some depth on their bench, like the Warriors. The Warriors have some depth on their bench.
Not sure the Trojans are there yet, but they will they will aspire to be gaining 70 wins in a season, even though it's certainly not possible in a 25-game season. They will try. One last gasp, certainly the Falcons need here. They're capable of a run.
Yeah, I mean, if they're going to keep, good steal by the Trojans.
Yeah, they can't turn the ball over, though, can they?
Cassidy Bacon goes down and then pulls it out off the fast break to her sister, Lila Bacon. Pass to Bella Weinberg, down low to Lila
Wide open was
Catarazzoli. Back out as that, a travel call. This is a lot of, another play where I thought could have either been a jump ball as both their hands were on.
Well, the refs are also, they're certainly not in mid-season form yet. They got to dish off some rust. They haven't refed. And what do you think the dynamic is having Lila and Cassidy sisters playing together? And Coach Ratchins mostly had them on the court at the same time.
Yeah, maybe it'd be good to get an interview with both of them. Ask them maybe at home if they practice together or anything.
Would be
I wonder. Yeah.
Would be an interesting storyline to follow. No, twin brothers Will and Jack Dunbar on the stars on the cross country and track team always practice together, and they talk about how they really push each other. So I think there's
always good having that person there. Yeah,
really a dynamic there, and especially if they have that friendship, it can be helpful. Ramirez driving, and a good shot there.
Good floater by her.
Lowers it to 12. Assistant coach for the Falcons, LaShare Robinson, trying to provide the encouragement from the bench. Trojans trying to get the opening victory here. Catarazzoli thought about it. They'll swing it around the arc. This is good ball movement.
Bella Weinberg with another swish.
And so many of these JV players, they look so confident out there.
Oh, yeah, no, they're throwing up shots like it's nothing, and they're making them.
And you wonder where it comes from, but they mentioned JV team had a huge year last year. They really did a great job. As I am going to try to get a soccer egg bowl score, so don't go anywhere.
I was unaware that the Costa Petaluma.
Yeah, the girls soccer tonight. Varsity should have wrapped, or I think Varsity was started at 6, so it should be wrapping up about now. And we're getting a feature story on the team. We have interviews and a reporter there, so you can check out our Trojan Live daily morning announcements live, 8:30 every morning, as that's going to be backcourt or over and back, on the Trojans. A few too many turnovers tonight. I do think that must be something to work on.
Definitely something to work on, as we're putting a lot of points up as there's 6 minutes left in the fourth quarter, and we are 13 points above what they averaged last year game. So that's a good improvement for the first game, because usually the first game you're still getting a little rushed off and not doing as well. But the Trojans are playing pretty strong.
Good Ramirez, good defense again by Weinberg, who's got that height, and it's going to have to start being desperation now for the Falcons if they want to win this one. That was a nice pass.
That was a nice pass between Bella and Lila as they get to the College Park person as they lay it up. Down to another 12-point lead for the Trojans.
They just hung around and they put one run, but the Trojans responded. Will it be enough? And that's certainly an improvement. Last year, I think the Trojans lacked that confidence.
Turnover.
There were a few times you saw where Trojans had a lead, but when that team came back, it sort of caved in. And
yeah,
that's where that confidence comes in, right?
As another turnover just happened where one of the girls is throwing to the person before they're even looking, and they're running out of the way of the ball, which is just a chemistry thing you got to work on throughout the year.
Early season rust, great hands by Weinberg. She poked it out and right into Scacolosi, and it is Weinberg, Scacolosi, and
there's Bella
Bacon and Catarazzoli, the 5 on the court, all reserves. Coach Ratchin confident in them.
No.
Oh my!
Another 3
Ashmore again.
Ashmore again, the lefty.
Yes.
Same spot, and they have to. The net got stuck again from her.
It's funny. Every 3 they've had.
Yeah, no rim. It's just going right through.
That they've made. It's hit or miss though.
Yep.
And some fans encouraging support. About 10 fans made the long drive from the East Bay. About an hour 15 with all this traffic.
Almost an hour.
They got to the line. Watch out. This is a 9-point game, and now 3 throws for Ramirez. Trojan offense turning it over. They've gone cold. How do they respond here? Who do they look to?
I guess we'll have to see as oh whoa, look at the whole starting lineup.
We're getting a line change here.
Here we go. The whole starting lineup is right out on the game out as the College Park is taking free throws, so the whole starting lineup will enter back in the game as we're only down by 9 as she makes misses her first free throw.
A lot of pressure now. They know every point's vital, and obviously that's where Coach Rauchen's looking. It's a complete line change. He wanted to go with the reserves. He wanted to stick with them and play them out and give them that experience, but it's a single-digit game, under 5 to go. You just can't risk that, can you?
Oh, no, of course not, especially with 4 minutes left.
You could hear a pin drop, and it falls. The rims are soft here at just a really recently renovated Petaluma High School gym. It's just in its 3rd year of renovation, and it's really, really gorgeous and has so many nice amenities. As a great lay-in by Martin, and she's been quiet today, but that was a huge momentum shot, wasn't it?
Yeah, now we're up by 10 as what she did there was actually when she caught the ball, took a step in for a nice layup, which a lot of the girls haven't been doing. They've been catching it and just, as she falls down hard.
Hard fall by Cordova Smith.
Pass to Harrison as she goes. Good pass.
Well, you're just seeing with the starters out there, and the Falcons did make some of their runs with some of the reserves that there's just a difference.
Another 3 by,
not that time. Looked like she rushed that one a little bit. Offensive board, and impressive work by the Falcons. They are not going away, and good for the Trojans to have a team battle like this.
Oh, no, it's always fun to have a battle like this after the game to look back on it. I think the Trojans need to have their hands up right there as they get an easy layup with Jane Chris and Nicole Costa right there. They could have got that. As Nicole Costa almost makes her 3 that she just shot, and College Park pass.
Russo the other way. What a steal. Oh. That was.
She didn't step out.
And that was clearly the wrong call. We did have the perfect angle right down the sideline, and Costa was clearly in the air when she threw that back.
Inbounds, jumped out, was in the air.
What
through
athleticism.
The ball. Oh, yeah, perfect. Another pass playing zone D again.
Another pump fake, and it was effective, but that shot just wouldn't go by Cordova Smith.
Right there, the Trojans had their arms up as it resulted in a turnover, which is what they need to keep doing. As a foul by number 13 on College Park.
And 6, so Trojans are 1 away from the bonus in the line. Refs have called it pretty loosely, so not too many free throws tonight.
Jade Chris in the middle with the jumper, and very close.
She normally hits that. Chris, when she came in last year, averaged 7.8 points from the field, which was actually slightly better than Nicole Costa. They were really co-leading scorers. She only played in 15 games due to a horrible leg injury that she suffered, but was so effective when she's in, and her force allows her to get the rebounds too, averaging almost 3 rebounds a game. 10-point game, under 3. Falcons need a few threes, otherwise it's going to become a foul game if they can get it to single digits. Downing! Oh, she made 3 before she went cold. She woke up from her deep slumber.
Oh, yeah, she was doing good earlier in the game. She felt cold. Good save to Nicole Costa. Yeah. Back to Kylie
should the Trojans run
jumper.
A quick shot by Payne it goes, but should the Trojans run a little bit more clock here, or does that take you out of your rhythm?
I'm not sure, honestly. that's a what?
Good block by Payne, and that's her 2nd block today. Yeah, she's been aggressive without getting the fouls. That has been key.
I'm not sure as the College Park person.
Ramirez calls for the
ball away.
And don't forget, after the game, we will have live player interviews. We'll talk to a couple stars of the game on the Petaluma Trojans, plus head coach John Ratson to get their thoughts on this season opener. We are live here from the Petaluma High School gym. It's the Petaluma Varsity girls basketball team facing the College Park Falcons. First game of the year for both. College Park out of Pleasant Hill. It's about an hour-and-a-half east and south in the East Bay. And back up to double digits. Costa, 43% shooter. She split the 3 throws, and they get another offensive board, and it's got to be back-breaking now, and now in the bonus are the Trojans.
Yeah, I mean, the College Park needs to stop sending the Trojans to the line if they want to win this game.
Martin will get 2. Because it was a shooting foul. Martin, with some veteran leadership, averaged 2.5 points per game last year and pulled down 2 rebounds, 60 points over the course of the year. Hard battle player, maybe doesn't always shine out, but one of those key elemental pieces.
Don't honor. Good move by Jaden Chris as she uses her height as her advantage with a good move to a little inside jumper.
A great post move, and that's unstoppable. Well, the threes keep on raining. How can they leave Downing open? Downing and Ashmore have found the sweet stroke, but the Trojans picking up the offense is the reason they still lead by double digits. And a travel, but it might be too little too late. Coach Brad Singlinger for the Falcons strokes his beard in a little bit of agony, wondering what if. And this could be tied if not for the Falcons. Just sort of, they were just looked asleep that first quarter, some rust, and since then these teams have played pretty even.
Oh yeah, no, definitely. I think if we didn't take if we took out the score of the first quarter and the 2 quarters, I'm not sure what this would be.
Fouls, an aggressive play by Arcot, and in the bonus now. That's the trouble.
That looked like,
You could though. Was that intentional?
I actually what I saw was Sharon Ericat. I saw her actually kind of ward, or I'm not sure what it's called, in basketball.
Initiate the offensive foul.
Well, she pushed off a little bit.
Right.
And the College Park player, all she did was put her hand out and it hit the hand.
Maybe the
karma.
I
think that could have been an if.
She misses the free throw, and College Park needs to get some shots, but a big board pulled down. The Trojans, if they run clock, can put this game away. 53-43, an aggressive play by Kim. And they knock it out. It will stay Trojans ball under a minute here, and actually, I'm sorry, it will be Falcons ball.
Good defense by my
looks like it's going to be enough.
As she pressured Nicole Costa to throw the ball out of bounds.
As we mentioned, Trojans led to the Gold Rush Shootout Thursday through Saturday. It will be at Pioneer. There's going to be some good teams. They'll open against Colfax, which is a team making a long trip east to Sacramento, and then they'll have 2 more games. Depends on who they play, depending on if they win or lose. But they had it was really as Chris gets the steal here, and the Trojans can pretty much dribble it out. It was a big season improvement last year. They win and played in the West Coast Jamboree tournament. What a pass! Costa to Chris. And they took 2 out of 3 of those tournament, and Coach Gratchen said that was a big turning point to play some good teams and finally get some wins.
Oh, yeah. Definitely, as there's 20 seconds left. Another good pass by Nicole Costa to go back out to should have been a pass back with Nicole. She was open in the corner. And you see that
chemistry between Costa and Chris. Foul on the Falcons. Shot clock turned off, and it is going to be a victory tonight for the Trojans.
College Park is looking very upset as another foul by them.
They certainly battled hard. They had talent, and this was good for the Trojans. It looked like maybe the first quarter it was just going to be a blowout, but this was a real test.
I agree. As free throw is
we'll be back next Tuesday. Novato. And that should be another test. The Hornets have a good squad as well.
Oh, yeah. Hornets definitely put up a good fight against the Trojans.
We'll just make a short trip north with the Hornets. We'll be live again shortly before 7 o'clock. As the Trojans, we'll see what they do in their tournament. But it's a really good non-conference schedule, and it started tonight, and they have passed with, I don't know if you want to call it flying colors. The Falcons certainly provided a test, but have to be satisfied with the effort.
That will
do it. 57-43. Interviews are coming up next. You want to get that set up, Matt? Oh.
Thank you all for watching.
Yeah, and don't go away yet. We are going to grab interviews with 2 star players of the game, plus we're going to talk with head coach John Ratchin. So those should be good, and we will get those for a moment. Players will head to the locker room, and then as soon as they were out we will talk to them.
And once again, my name is Luca DeBono.
And a successful opening night here, and certainly a lot to take away from the first game.
Oh, perfect. I thought it was a really good season opener for the Trojans, as they have a lot to look up to as they won by, what is that, 14?
14, yeah. So a solid victory. It was hard fought. Falcons provided the test, but the Trojans did respond when they made those runs, and they didn't just cave in.
Mm-hmm. A lot of good shooting by the Trojans.
Good to see.
Kind of went cold for a little bit.
And certainly a lot of improvement over last year. And you getting the interviews, or just want to sit down? Okay.
I'll give him my mic.
All right. I would like to do handheld though. Okay, handheld and then into that camera. Okay, cool.
I have to leave in 4 minutes for tutor.
You can go.
All right.
Annika, can you come down here and take the mic so you can talk while I grab some interviewees?
We're getting ready to give you guys these interviews in 1 second. Okay. Once again, I'm Luca Bono. I will see you guys later as Annika Schmidt comes down to help out. As here you guys go.
Annika, just stay.
Okay.
Right there, and we're gonna grab interviews.
Okay, so Griffin's gonna go grab some interviews right now. So I guess just to recap, we won. I wasn't really sure. It was kind of close the entire game. I mean, we held a certain lead, but at some points it seemed like Castle Park might catch up to us. But you know how it is with basketball. It's always active and interactive, and it's fast-paced. So here, Griffin's wrangled Nicole Costa, and hopefully she'll give us an interview.
Yeah, is that all right? I mean, we could stand if you want, but then we'd have to change the
Here she is.
All right. We're going to use the hand. All right, wait. All right. Hope this isn't too painful. Nicole told me she didn't like interviews too much, but I hope I'm not that scary. Anyways, here with the here with the team captain. I'm okay. Here with the team captain of the Petaluma Varsity girls basketball team, Nicole Costa, and it was the first game tonight. It was a tough battle against a good team. What did you learn about the team?
They definitely were good shooters. Obviously, you saw 21 was hitting her threes pretty well, but I think we stopped her fourth quarter, which helped a lot.
And the Falcons battled back, and last year a few times you saw a team go on a run. You guys sort of caved in. This year you responded. What's the difference in mentality for the team?
At halftime, our coach told us to pretty much not let them come back and play better defense, so we did that coming out of the half and stopped them.
So much experience on this squad, 8 returners. How beneficial is that for you guys?
It helps with running our plays. Most of us know what's going on, and we can help the younger players and teach them. Yeah.
Senior year, and this team clearly has a lot of talent. What are your goals as you look forward towards the season?
Definitely looking to win league. I really think we have a chance this year, so hopefully we can get that pennant.
Thank you, Nicole.
For sure.
Wasn't too painful?
No.
All right, great. We are going to grab one more interview, and Coach John Ratch and Nicole Costa leaving and clapping. Annika, yeah, don't go yet. So thank you for that, and stick around. We're going to have some more interviews.
Hi, it's me, back. Are there any comments over there? Okay, she's checking for comments. Well, seems like the stream has gone a little less lively since the height of this very exciting game against Castle Park. And I hear they come from Pleasantville, so that was a bit of a drive for them. But I think they made it worth it. It looked like they battled well the entire game through. They definitely didn't give up. Near the end, they were still pushing. They still wanted to get those points in. And I actually think they heated up by the second half because the first half looked a bit weaker with their offense game. But that's just me. So I'm guessing that Griffin is going to catch another interview with maybe the coach here. And that should be amazing because, as we all know, Griffin does the best interviews on Trojan Live. Any other thing is just not worth watching except for the rest of the content on our channel. And if you are interested in that at all, I highly recommend that you check it out because there's some real good stuff out there. So Griffin, are we getting an interview?
Well, first, I promised an Egg Bowl varsity soccer score, and we have very exciting news. The Trojans did not just beat Casa, they crushed them 3-0, and there's nothing better than cussing a crosstown rival. Across the god day, Petaluma Trojans varsity girls soccer team opens up their season with a demolition of Casa Grande. I don't want to use the verbs I started using last year because I did get a few people mad when I started joking that they should get locked up for jail. The team has a habit of going 7-0. Shireen Arakat is coming over for an interview. The sophomore had a big impact in today's game in her first varsity game. And Nicole said my interview wasn't too painful today, so I'll try to do the same with you. It was your first varsity game, and you were in late in this game when it wasn't over. What was that experience like?
It was definitely a little nerve-wracking playing with so many good players and being a sophomore. I'm not the oldest, and I'm one of the youngest on the team, so it was definitely nerve-wracking.
And this team has a lot of experience, but we saw the depth. A lot of players played tonight, including yourself, who just called up from JV. What are the players that were on JV last year you feel like going to bring to the team?
I think we're definitely ready for a challenge. Last year, we won almost all our games except for Annalee, but I think we're definitely ready to play some tougher teams and get more of a challenge.
There's so much depth on this squad. What are the advantages to that, and how did you maybe see that tonight against a team that had a little less depth like College Park?
We play really well together. We have like a good relationship, and I think that definitely contributes to how we play on the court.
Thank you, Shireen. All right, we're going to grab Coach Ratchin. He's currently in the locker room with the players, but he will be here in just a moment. Annika, you happy to rejoin us? So the exciting victory for the varsity girls soccer game. Thank you to Nicole and Shireen for the wonderful interviews there. And one thing, as I mentioned, Annika, with a lot of players on this team that were called up from JV, and they played really well, as she said, and they had a big impact tonight. And it's adding a lot of depth, and that has to be absolutely huge, doesn't it?
Yeah, it really seems to be, and I can see the team dynamic. They really work well together, especially the older girls. They have it down pat. You can see it with their passes and just the way that they can pass to one another without even looking. It's just sort of like that cat eyes or whatever you call it.
And there was some rest, there were some turnovers, but especially you saw Costa and Chris. They just looked confident, and they looked like they had played together for a long, long time. But Arakat was in there as those last 5 minutes. She was just called up from JV, and she looked confident. And this team looks a little bit more like one team and really bound. I can't say the word. Bonded. There it is. Bonded. I don't know. As an announcer, I don't want to do that. Bonded together. They really seem to have a chemistry, and that was something they lacked last year, and that's so key.
Yeah, I can agree more with you, Griffin, and I just love seeing them out there, especially when it's a winning team like tonight. It was a good win, and I mean, we battled all the way through just to keep that small lead.
Yeah, and an aggressive mentality by the team. They were aggressive shooting the ball. They were aggressive defensive. They forced a lot of turnovers themselves. So exciting to see as they go forward. And Coach Retchen should be coming out in a few moments, but he does have to talk to the team. And we did take a few of his players, and it's wonderful to have this whole system. We have a light, we have the background. It's really professional looking, which is what we believe we truly are, and that's all thanks to Matthew Kalimba, isn't it?
Of course, we can also let you comment on how good it looks. No, but I really think the setup tonight was fantastic. We had a big crew tonight. Lots of people showed up, and the stands maybe weren't so packed, but that's okay. We have some diehard fans out here, especially the parents and those who tuned into the live stream. You're just as valuable to the team. They know you're out there. Shout out. Yeah, so I guess we could start talking about the rest of the season for the girls. This was a strong season opener.
Yes, it was, and they have the tournament coming up, should provide some good experience. Remember, we will be back. Our next live stream is the varsity girls team against Novato next Tuesday. It should be a lot of fun. It should be another good test, and it's just like I think the boys team. There is a lot of promise. I think for the boys, we saw the potential in action. I think for the girls, there is even more improvement to come. especially from a team that has improved by leaps and bounds from where they started last year and still under a relatively new coach, which make their season in some ways even more exciting to see those hills and those improvements. And I was a little surprised. Nicole Costa, she's a senior. It's her last year, but she says she thinks she can win league. They are shooting high. They feel confident.
Yeah, and I don't think they have a reason not to be, Griffin.
Yeah, and Annalee and Sonoma, both the teams did lose some players last year. So you never know. Just those dates to point out. And they have a home game against Annalee. So we mentioned Novato here at home Tuesday night. A week from Friday will be the Varsity Girls Egg Bowl. So far, the Egg Bowl is going really well so far this year. We've had the football team win. We've had now the girls soccer team has won. The wrestling team is certainly going to beat Casa when they face each other. And that's not even a competition. Please. We have 2 wrestling live streams, actually. One in January when they face Annalee, or actually one in January. They face Sonoma, who they won the league title last year by 1 point. 1 point over Sonoma. So that's going to be a huge match here at home. Those are, I don't know exactly when those start, around 5 p.m. The exact date we'll make sure to have out. I know it's pretty early January against Sonoma, and then later in February will be their senior night against Annalee, another rival. And I think I hear Coach Ratchin. I'm going to pop my head out and see if he can make his way over. Thanks for sticking with us.
Okay, yeah, just as Griffin said, thanks for sticking with us. I know it's kind of a long wait for this interview, but we promise you it will be worth it. Coach Ratchet, what I hear, is the newer coach here for Petaluma, and it looks like he's really getting in the groove of things with the game tonight. As Griffin said, the girls have a lot of potential, and I think they're going to grow throughout the season. And it's looking up, and Nicole Costa thinks they can win the league, and I don't see why not. I mean, dream big, right? Anything on the comments? Ooh, okay. It's getting kind of dead on the stream. Well, someone asked where Luca is. I'm not sure where Luca is. It would have been awful kind of him to stay and help pack up, but I don't see him around anywhere, which is strange. You know, here at Trojan Live, we're such a tight-knit family, and Mr. Knox always tries to emphasize that point that we're a family, not a group. We're a family, just like Vin Diesel says.
So I don't know what that was about, but anyways, I make 80s.
Fast and Furious.
I make 80s references, so you're allowed to say whatever you want. Never heard of it. It's a movie, though, right?
It's a franchise.
I have heard of it. I have heard of it. I'm pretty sure it's a movie.
It's a movie franchise.
You deserve that.
Whoa, all right. Let's not get violent here. We're a family. Let's stop. I've heard of it. It's a movie.
We all know how violent Matt's family is.
It's like Cars and stuff.
One of Universal Studios' most profitable movie franchises in the world.
Let's see. What else did Universal make? We're getting off the rails.
Exactly strong, but there are some cool.
Coach Ratchin is coming up, but obviously first game of the year. He's long talking. Never heard of him. Don't throw more things at me, please.
Oh my God, I'm already.
Hey, you. No.
Just come right over here, buddy.
All I'm gonna say is I would not want Griffin on my Skills USA Quiz Bowl team.
All right, we apologize for any violence. Apparently, people are really passionate about Universal Studios. I went there once, Los Angeles. It was so cold. Everyone was in parkas, and it was Los Angeles. It was January, but everyone was still in parkas. I'm like, no one's ever in parkas in Los Angeles. It was like 40 degrees out. Okay, here comes Coach Ratchin. All right, here we go. Thanks for the wait. We apologize for the violence in Universal Studios and whatever else was happening there. I am a little afraid of Matt right now. All right, here he comes. Good win for the girls basketball team. Second year for head coach John Ratchin at the helm. All right. Okay, Matthew, can we can record? We're doing sit down. Yeah, we got the whole fancy background, and you got the mic. All right. Nicole told me she was scared. She was scared of getting my interview.
We're all scared of you.
Gosh, I never realized that.
Tucker Carlson over here.
Oh, I don't know if I want to aspire to be that. Anyway.
Lawrence O'Donnell.
All right. Back to the basketball game. So second year as coach, and obviously it was a lot of learning for everyone last year. What changes and things do you think you learned from last year to bring to the team this year?
It's just about them learning how I coach, me learning how they play and who they are, and going from there.
Team's first game today, and College Park battled, and you guys had to battle back. What do you think you learned about the mental ability of this team?
We're resilient, got a lot of kids to play, learn. I don't know what I learned exactly tonight, but we'll look at your film and see.
Team has a lot of experience, 8 players returning. How are you going to use that to your advantage?
I think it's a lot easier, especially going off of last year, just, I can say little quick snippets and they know what I mean instead of having to explain every little thing all the time. So just makes it a lot simpler on the basketball court.
Thank you, Coach. All right, that's Coach Ratchin. I'm sorry I seem like Tucker Carlson. I'll try to stop. A lot of insults tonight, I have to say. Anyways, that's going to do it. Thank you for everybody for tuning in. You want to everyone come out. Matthew, Columbo, hopefully not going to kill me. Annika Schmidt and Luca DeBona did a great job. A very good night, everybody. Don't forget to tune into our live stream next Tuesday. So long. Thanks for tuning in. I got to go in this now.